Nichele. Para nosotros es una gran oportunidad tener este espacio con usted. Como te digo, esto siéntate cómoda como en casa. Bueno, ya te estás cómodo. Vamos a empezar con una historia que me parece muy importante para mí, porque iniciaste como muchos en el mundo de los cortos, que es Dar Water. Dar Water es una historia sobre, no sé si llamarla sombría, pero es como ese tipo de como encontrarse a sí mismo, es numérica, 7 con 7 de 7 meses, 7 tanto. Entonces, ¿qué significa para usted las historias que tengan que ver como tipo de conspiraciones, tipo de ideas de lo que sucede de este planeta? ¿Le gustaría protagonizar más de esa historia?
Y le agregaré algo. Okay, Michelle. I'm really glad that John invited you here. And he said that feel comfortable here in this space. And I'm happy for this question because I want to ask you about this project.
Okay.
We are going to start talking about Dark Water. I know that there is a lot of movies called in that way, but we feel that this can kind of got like a twist. Tell us more about this project. And tell us if you wanna participate in more of these stories for conspirations. I don't know. Tell us more about Dark Water. I wanna see it. I really want to see it and compare it with the others. Go ahead.
Okay. So Dark Water was really cool. It was one of the first film sets I had been on that was actually a narrative film as opposed to a commercial. And so it was a part of a 48-hour film festival. So we essentially had one day to film everything. And it ended up being a project that took place while I was in college. And a lot of my college friends were also a part of the cast. So that made it a really easy and really comfortable space, which is great because the story itself was sort of a post-apocalyptic, very dark and gritty kind of tale. So it was fun to be in that on screen and to feel tough and macho and, you know, sleeping it out in the wild, while meanwhile behind the scenes and off screen, it'd just be me and my friends, you know, hanging out, having a blast.
Wow, I'm imagining that contrast between the dark history and your friends, and it's crazy. It was 48 hours. Okay, I will translate. Pues John, sorpréndete. Fue un proyecto que se tenía que filmar en 48 horas, en 2 días, pero técnicamente fue en un día que se tenía que filmar. Sí, no es una historia para nada comercial, para nada. De hecho, es una historia bastante oscura, como dice el nombre. Digamos que tiene como cierto mensaje, por así decirlo. Pero lo más loco es que ella lo hizo cuando estaba en el college y los que participan ahí también son compañeros de ella. Entonces, imagínate grabar esta historia, que por cierto, tengo que preguntarte si la respuesta no importa. ¿Tú la viste? Yo
Claro,
deseo verla.
sí, yo la vi en Vimeo,
Pásame,
claro. Tengo
pásame. Okay. I was telling John, okay, so he's, of course, he's the inventor and the translator that share me that short film. I will see it. I promise.
Great. I hope you enjoy it.
I know I will. Yo ya le dije, tengo que verla. Continúa.
Por supuesto. Además, bueno, ya de estar en un corto, ya como que paso un paso da como un salto increíble respecto a El Residente, que es una historia sobre médicos, una historia bastante innovadora a las series de médico que se ha visto, como muchas series. Entonces yo quisiera preguntarle, ¿qué aprendiste no solo de su personaje, de la doctora Megan, sino también de cómo como tener como la oportunidad de saber un poco más del mundo de la medicina, qué aprende, o sea, qué mensaje tuvo para poder decir, mire, esto pasa, puede pasar en la realidad, pero me amoldea pues el personaje.
Y te va a parecer muy loco. Adivina, esa serie le fascina a mi mamá. Y
Wow.
yo sí decía, me suena. Oh, this is crazy. Because John wanna ask you about the resident, but my memory. That one day I was watching my mom doing some shopping, and I watched about like a marathon of a series, and watch
Really?
and watch and watch. It was the resident, and when I say when John called me for the interview, I I don't know where I saw her, but I saw her. It was in that series, and yes, I'm glad that John asked you about what did you learn about the trauma, the subject of this series that deals just with medicine, but also with values. I don't know. I watched a series and it was really different. It was not like the others medical series. And I will tell Mon that I interview you.
Um, so I played a relatively small role in The Resident, but I have watched it since being on it, and I do really enjoy the approaches that they take as far as like muddying the line between what's right and what's good for like the hospital, and throwing in a bunch of underhanded political moves into the show. I think it's a really interesting and dynamic way to take the sort of ritual hospital drama and turn it on its head. So that's really cool. I, for one, had a great time on the show. I was in for 2 episodes. And unfortunately, both of my scenes got cut, but it was a really fun experience. You can still sort of see me in the background. So anytime I like watch the episode, I'm like, there.
I know that because this series is on reruns. In fact, it's on cable TV. Oh, what a nice doggy!
That's my dog. That's Jax. He's checking it out.
Hi, Jack. I will rewatch it and I will say, oh, I found it. Jhon, sí, lo triste acá es que, a ver, de cierta forma cortaron las escenas. Yo sé que uno la ve en el fondo, pero tú lo sabes muy bien que esta serie es muy distinta. De hecho, yo sí decía, hombre, esa serie es muy buena. Es muy, muy distinta porque trata más, es como con lo moral. Tú sabes muy bien que es la cuestión de las personas que son los médicos residentes, no es como las otras series que tú ves que generalmente tratan es sobre los romances y eso. Dice que logró adaptarse porque, aunque tú no lo creas, o yo sé que lo sabes, esta serie tiene muchas temporadas, ¿no? Digamos que es como una extraña serie de culto que es para conocedores, hombre. Yo estoy muy feliz, no sé tú.
No, yo estoy más que feliz por eso. Pues además, una serie que les gusta no solo a los jóvenes, sino también a los adultos. También es una serie que se destaca en todo. Bueno, también de esa serie hay una película que sí, la verdad, se llama La Maldición de la Casa del Suicidio.
De tus favoritas.
Sí, es una de mis favoritas. ¿Por qué? Porque es una historia bastante innovadora y fresca referente a lo que es el tema de la red social, de los youtubers que incrementan los vistos, pero no se dan cuenta. ¿Sabe qué me pareció esta historia? Que esta historia deben sacarle una serie, porque yo pienso que deben sacarle varios episodios, porque si son youtubers, si son tiktokers, eso equivale a muchas vistas y más que en el personaje. Cada uno de los personajes me encantan. Quisiera preguntarle, ¿cómo usted representa el miedo ante ese tipo de historias? ¿Qué significa para usted todo ese tipo de sucesos extraños? Cuéntame.
Y es muy buena tu pregunta porque sabes muy bien que es una saga. Hay muchas, pero imagínate, llevar una serie. No, voy a preguntar. Wow. This is one of the favorite movies from Jhon. That is The Haunting of the Suicide House. And he feels that this, I know that there is kind of like a saga. In fact, I was searching in Tubi TV. There is one of the parts. Unfortunately, not your part. No. But first, do you think that this saga needs to be shown now like on a series? Because I know that deals with fear, but also deals with fear now. No, you know, the social media. I don't know. You can develop more of your character on a long series. How do you feel dealing with these subjects of fear, anxiety? Tell us more.
Well, dealing with fear and ghosts, I am a big fan of like the supernatural. I do believe in paranormal activity and everything like that. So I do think it'd be really fun to explore it as far as just like, learning more about it. That's practically. However, like emotionally, I think I would be very scared in actuality, because the things that are unexplainable or that go bump in the night, they can be really, really creepy. So I don't know how like eager I would be to really delve into it. But as far as portraying it, yeah, I do think that could be a lot of fun, especially in something like a series as opposed to a movie, where you can sort of flesh out any kind of lore that you want for whatever story you're dealing with and really begin to build up that horror that leaves audiences in suspense and, wanting to come back for more.
I will take the part from my friend because you maybe don't know, but if you don't know, you will know now. He's in college, and
Okay.
he's doing a thesis from the supernatural. It's an amazing thesis. In fact, I read it. I'm looking for reading it, and in this thesis, he's making like a documentary that recalls all the history of this genre. And if you watch the channel, you will see people. In fact, there is Jeremy Richards for Supernatural, The Dead. I was like fanboying the day I was interviewing it. There's people like Tom Holland, from the creator from Chucky. And yes, he want to invite you. You want to be part of this thesis, or you want to know about this documentary, because you will flip out.
Yeah, yes. I would love to. It sounds like an excellent project.
Jhon, I will say in English. Nichele said that your project is amazing. Nichele dijo que tu proyecto se ve buenísimo. Y no, lo bueno, Jhon, la invité porque ella dice que, mira esta dicotomía, ama lo sobrenatural, lo supernatural. De hecho, ama muchísimo el género y el subgénero que más te gustan, fantástico. Lo amo. Pero dice que, y tú sabes muy bien, yo sé que tú eres juicioso y te has visto casi toda esta saga de The Haunting of Superman. Le da mucho miedo cuando se trata de este tema ya en lo paranormal, o sea, de casi, incluso, de ese horror de que tú te acuestas, casi los nonitas, tú sabes, te acuestas y aparecen ahí. Dice que para ella sería muy chévere explorarlo en una serie, pero pues imagínate explorar ese temor cuando tú en realidad tienes esa fascinación y a la vez temor sobre algo, no sé, imagínate. Y obvio, acá le dije tu tesis, la prueba. Y si quieres, yo creo que sea un honor que ella aparezca ahí también. Porque tú amas esa saga, ¿o no? Pero estás...
Claro que sí.
Bueno, listo. You will appear on his thesis. He said.
Great, that sounds awesome. Best of luck to you for writing it.
Genial. Bueno, ya hablando de lo sobrenatural, también es obvio que no dejamos el tema de la adolescencia, porque hay adolescentes que les gusta lo sobrenatural y hay adolescentes que les gusta como que ya un poco la vida más tranquila y es cazar recompensas de adolescentes. Bueno, es una historia sobre cómo es ser adolescente sin problemas, sin causar estragos. Eso siempre me ha causado curiosidad, Nichele, es cómo usted visualiza el género de juvenil en las series, en las películas. ¿Cómo ve usted la evolución desde su perspectiva? ¿Qué ha cambiado? ¿Ha mejorado? ¿En qué debe mejorar?
Okay, we're going to talk about Teenage Bounty Hunters, but mostly not only about this project that I have it on my queue, because I really love, and in fact the question is, yes, not only about the juvenile genre, but how do you see the evolution of this genre? Because I want to tell you something. Yes, we know that, and it's great because Netflix Colombia got this series, so kudos. But there is the series that really, they got many seasons. But I feel that there are little gems, and I need to watch it because I feel that this could be a little gem. I wouldn't say it's a little gem because I haven't watched it. You have to forgive me. But I know that I have seen some series on Netflix that I say, wow, why these series are not that popular as the others because it deals with the subject. I don't know. Tell us, what do you think about the genre, the evolution, and the role? I know that you played as a student, but tell us.
Just the genre of like
The
sort of a dark.
juvenile. No, yes, the juvenile, the series about youth, but
Mhm.
that deals with many subjects because this is different. You know, we know that this
Yeah.
series. Okay, tell us.
I think it's a really positive thing that there's a lot of exploration in like growing up and coming of age. And then I think that when you add something sort of zany and out there like bounty hunting for teenagers, it just, ups the ante for all of high schoolers' problems. So I do think it is a really fun take. And I enjoy like watching younger relationships begin to being be excuse me being explored in the series as well.
Jhon dice que, es más, esta serie la tengo en mi lista, porque tú sabes que Netflix tiene series que han pegado muchísimo, pero hay series que uno siente que deben pegar más. Esta es una de estas. Dice que lo que le encanta es cómo se maneja ese tema de tal vez el coming on age, o sea, el de cómo una persona crece, pero imagínate agregarle ese ingrediente extra y divertido, obviamente, de los cazarrecompensas.
Uy, sí.
Creo que la evolución se basa en eso, cómo tú agarras la fórmula y haces algo muy distinto. Yo tengo que ver esta serie, la tengo que ver, pero yo sé que te vienes con lo que toda Latinoamérica espera. Dale.
Bueno, yo quiero hablar de la dinastía. Hay una historia ahí detrás de no solo de recuperar los bienes, las herencias, toda la familia adinerada, sino yo lo que me encantó y me enganchó de esta serie es la naturalidad en cómo ellos se expresan. Es como si uno se sintiera como en casa, como si le hablaran a uno. No en primera persona, sino en la manera en cómo cuentan la historia. Y por supuesto, es una historia muy, muy increíble y yo le quiero preguntar a Nichele, no solo la experiencia, porque es una de las series de Estados Unidos más destacadas, sino también cómo se representa esta serie, no sé, para aprender, qué pueden aprender de esta serie de la dinastía, no solo obviamente para mal, sino para bien.
Okay, we know that Dynasty is huge. We know that this series is like a remake, we can say, because Jhon freaking love it. No, in fact, I remember that even my parents watched the old Dynasty. Now this is the new Dynasty. And the question is, what we can learn about this series, not only in the bad things, because we know that sometimes there are, thieves and liars, but in the good things. And because one of the key ingredients of the series are the dialogues, are that always got like a cautionary tale. I don't know, tell us more. And how do you feel being part of this? It's crazy, Dynasty. We are talking about decades, we are talking about ages of TV, so tell us more about Dynasty.
I think with Dynasty and with like a lot of shows on TV, right, you see a lot of remakes and everything and reboots and just going back to old content. I do enjoy it to an extent. I think that for me, as far as like continuing something rather than creating new content, I prefer to do something new that's never been done before. There is always a little bit of risk that comes along with it that makes it a little bit scary or trepidatious of that. But I think the payoff for it in of itself is worth it. Something like have you seen Knives Out, the movie? That's great. Something like that I think would be wonderful. But that being said, with Dynasty, I do think they're doing a really great job with referencing the old series and putting new takes on it, putting in a modern lens, as far as like cattiness goes and like just having fun with it. The sort of back and forth that they have going on, I think it is very fun to watch.
It's crazy. This week we interview with the most successful director in Colombia, that is Juan Camilo Rincon.
Mm-hmm.
He made a TV show that is called, okay, in Spanish it says Pecados Capitales. It will be like capital sins in English. And it's crazy because this series, and this is like a trivia from the internet. And I think that maybe we're right because I freaking love Nice Out. I watch it,
Yeah.
and some people say that it's like Clue, the movie. But
Mhm.
it's crazy because we say to Juan Camilo that there are people that say that Pecados Capitales is like the blueprint from Nice Out because it's
Oh,
the same.
really?
And he said the same. Like, yes. And it's crazy because Juan Camilo said something crazy. He said, some people tell me that my it's not a soap opera, it's a series. My series was the blueprint from the Squid Game. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh,
And-
really?
Yes. I don't know. I know it's in Netflix. I don't know if it's translated, but yes, sometimes originality can be harsh. But I think that when a script is great, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. And you know, we're going to talk, Jhon, dale. Yo sé con qué vamos a hablar.
Bueno, esta es la serie que muchos me estaban escribiendo, Nichele, y es Hawkeye. Lo dije bien, por fin.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. My English, sorry.
Hot cakes
That's
are
okay.
hot cakes are for eating. Los hot cakes son para comer. ¿No?
Yeah, the big difference.
Sí, muy diferente.
Ojo de
I wouldn't
halcón.
suggest trying to eat Hawkeye.
Ojo de
de harina.
halcón in Spanish. Ojo de halcón in Spanish. Ojo de halcón.
Excelente. Además, o sea, sabemos de que Ojo de Halcón es un personaje que a todos nos representa, que no tiene poderes, pero tiene la habilidad de tener un buen ojo en ese sentido, en todo. Pues pienso que ya por fin es un personaje que ya tiene la serie y necesita como un poco más de como de trasfondo y también tu papel, que es muy importante. No solo es estar, que te quiero preguntar, no solo es conocer de pronto a gran parte del elenco, sino también en un futuro, no sé, yo pensándolo bien, ¿qué heroína o qué supervillana de Marvel, o tal vez, no sé, le gustaría como que participar, protagonizar? ¿Qué parte de historia, aparte de Ojo de Halcón? Cuéntame.
Okay. This question is not only about Hawkeye, but knowing that this series is making, we know that of course the protagonist is Hawkeye, is running Hawkeye, but we know about the character of Kate Bishop and the role from the women. Knowing this and the new pathway that are taking Marvel or somehow DC or Dark Horse, do you want to continue participating in this project if they're allowed, or do you want to play later like a villain, superhero, another comic character?
That's a hard question. I would love to be involved in Hawkeye if they would have me again. I know when the series first came out, I was in the pilot episode as one of Kate's friends, Greer. And a lot of people, not a lot, a good amount of people on Twitter, they made the connection that my character's name, Greer, is the same name as another character in the Marvel comics, whose name eventually becomes Tigra, who is a superhero in the comic book world. So I don't know what plans they have for my character concretely. I don't know, like, if anything was done on purpose or not. But if they did have me back in that capacity, I would be over the moon to be involved in it. Absolutely.
Fanboying. Ok, will translate. Pues Jhon, sabes muy bien, y obviamente esto se lo escribieron pues, varias personas que ven la serie. Tú sabes muy bien que Greer es el personaje que después se convierte en Tigra. Si todo se da, porque es que hay un factor de que Nichele apareció fue en el piloto de la serie, pero si todo se da, pues para mí sería un sueño cumplido, créeme.
Yo,
Jhon has died.
sí, porque, o sea, yo digo que yo he visualizado un poco todo, no solo su MTV, su portafolio de trabajo. Sé que te gusta Marvel, sé que te gustan los superhéroes, supervillanos, pues que más adelante tengas una participación seria excelente, excelente, excelente. No, yo solo quiero felicitarla, aplaudirla.
Thank you.
No, para mí es un honor, un gusto. Bueno, por último, tus redes sociales, un saludo para Colombia, Latinoamérica. ¿Qué proyecto sigue? No sé, cuéntanos. Hay una exclusiva que me gustan a mí, entonces cuéntanos.
Okay. The camera is yours, Nichele. Send a big hi to Colombia, to the channel, to wherever you want. There is your social media so people can follow you. And if you got some projects under the, I always forget the word in English, but if you got some projects or something that you can send a little hint of, oh, you maybe will know about me in this kind of project, go ahead.
Okay. Well, hello, Colombia. Thank you all for watching Jhon's channel. Please continue to do so. All of his interviews are great. He has wonderful questions to ask. My name is Nichele Lambert. You can follow me on Instagram at Nichele Lambert. And I'm just really happy to be on the show. I might even be appearing in the CW show Naomi this time next week, Tuesday, February 8th, I want to say. Maybe Tuesday, February 8th. So fingers crossed that you'll see my familiar face on there.
Yes, I don't want to see you on the background. We need to see you more in serious.
Front and center, right?
Yes, no, in fact, it's great to know also that you are an activist and you're an athlete. I was reading that on Instagram. And we need to ask you a favor. There is a fan from Dynasty. She's called Maria Agudelo.
Okay.
And she wants to, yes, to receive a warm salute from yourself. So please tell something to Maria.
Hi, Maria. Thank you so much for watching Dynasty. I hope you're loving the show. We really appreciate all the views, and I hope that things are going well for you. Please continue to watch and have a good one.
I wish I could be Maria. Okay, no, I will translate. Jhon, sí, se viene y hay una posibilidad tal vez de que, digamos, que sea un personaje más recurrente. Ella va a aparecer en esta serie Naomi. ¿Tú has oído esa serie? Sí, I was telling about Naomi, the series. Y a María le dijo algo muy bonito, que gracias no solo por ver Dynasty, sino por estar ahí pendiente siempre, y le mandó como yo le dije, me gustaría ser María en este momento, pero bueno, no, Jhon, pues no. Dime qué más.
Yo lo que quiero es, no sé, siempre.
Le dije que también me encanta que sea activista y atleta, también se lo dije.
Bueno, pregúntale, por último, con una última pregunta.
Yes, because the time is not running off. Tell us more, because we had the love to get people and more, and what I feel more proud, women that are activism. Tell us more about this aspect of your career, of your life, please.
Yeah, of course. So I, got really involved with the uprisings of 2020. Once we saw the protests going around cities in the US, I began to be more on the ground with my roommates. We had a wagon that we would fill with snacks and water and things like that, and we would distribute those to the people who were marching, because it was so hot here in Atlanta. It was exhausting. But we met a lot of awesome people. We got into a few scrapes here and there, but thankfully no one was hurt. So I do strongly believe that Black Lives Matter, and that people need to take accountability for themselves and for police officers in general, who have far too much power, far too much money. I do believe in a safer future for us, one where everybody can work together with mutual aid to show real community care for our neighbors. So that way, hopefully we won't need police watching us. We can depend on one another to take care of each other rather than having one system who only comes after a crime has been committed. We can take care of it right then and there.
Before the time off, because we got like 9 minutes
Okay.
of, I got to tell you, in this channel, one of the latest interviews we made is from Ira Fronten. Ira Fronten is a Venezuelan actress that she's one of the, she appears on House of Gucci, but she had committed to herself to become not only the greatest Afro-Latina actress, because she said that we got in the States people like Viola Davis, but in Latin America we don't got that reference in acting, and she do activism. In fact, she's fighting like, yes, I'm a black woman, but you don't have to give me always the role of a slave, or in fact,
yeah, absolutely.
She appears on House of Gucci. I gotta tell you something. I also something. As you know, this Black Lives Matters movement needs to, I don't know, to explode not only in the US. I told you, there is an actor that we interviewed here. He's an amazing person, by the way. His name is Alan Rodriguez. Jhon, Alan Rodriguez es policía, ¿cierto?
Sí.
He's a cop. And I was telling him that in Colombia, the previous year was riots after riots after riots, and it was sad because we got there is a city called Cali. Cali is in fact, it's the most Afro-Colombian city. It's in the Pacific. There was a lot of killings for the riots, but and not only artists like singers, but common people that were killed, and these deaths means nothing from the media, and it's sad because what happened, yes, with our Afro culture, and knowing that Colombia as the States is a multiplicity of ethnics. So what you say and what you do, I have to thank you. We need activism.
Thank you.
We need activism, and this year will be elections in this country. Please change this.
That's gotta be fun for you.
We don't want more riots, not because I'm not against the riots. I am against the system that provokes the riots.
Of course, different. Of course.
I will translate faster, but that was beautiful that you say. Jhon.
Thank you.
Ella, desde el 2020, desde lo que pasó en el 2020, sale con unos amigos, porque además tú sabes que Atlanta es una ciudad muy calurosa, con un vagón a repartir. Bueno, lo primero que hizo fue repartir agua y comida a personas, a los marginados, durante lo del COVID, pero también es una militante del Black Lives Matter, y pues le dije obviamente lo de nuestra amiga Ira, hola Ira, y le dijimos obviamente lo que le contamos a nuestro amigo Alan acá en Colombia. Entonces, you are a superhero in real life.
Thank you so much. There are a lot more people who do a lot more than me, who know a lot more than me. I'm doing the best that I can, and that's all I can encourage of everybody else.
And before we take the picture, so we can share to the social media to promote this interview, what are your skills in as an athlete? Tell us faster.
In what?
Because in Instagram say that you are an athlete.
Oh, an athlete. Oh, I do a lot of workouts. I do Beachbody On Demand, which is like a workout program that gives you a whole list of different programs that you can do with trainers like Shaun T, Joel Freeman, Autumn Calabrese, some of which are really very intense. So I call myself an athlete. I don't actually do any sports, but I feel very strong completing some of those programs because they're a lot.
Wow. Before the picture, Also, we got the honor to have in our channel. In fact, we got the amazing Bill Dude here talking about activism, and we got Bill Dude talking about his foundation, what he did from the Afro-American cinema. Now, we are going to take the picture, so please
Sí,
give
la
us
foto.
that beautiful smile.
Esta foto vale oro. Dígale que antes de que la manager ya no nos deje más.
Yes, Jhon said something that is right. And we feel this also with a lot of great people that we have interviewed here. This picture and this interview worth gold because there will be, after this interview, and in fact, we want to ask you, this is your first interview, international interview, tell us.
Yes, first interview ever.
After this interview, will be hard to contact you.
Okay.
We know it, but when you be on that aspect of your career, please remember us.
Of course. How could I forget my first interview? I will absolutely keep in touch with you guys. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm truly honored.
I will watch Dar Water. Don't worry.
Okay.
And Jack is the doggy.
Jax, he's saying goodbye.
Bye bye, Jack.
He's ready for supper.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao.